Hi YouTubers, hi, and hello to my subscribers. And if you've just happened across this vlog, hi, I'm Orla. It's the 23rd of April 2020. For those of you who've been following my recent vlogs, and I'd like to say a special hello to Kimmy and Melissa, who I feel like I'm doing these vlogs for personally. I hope you're well, girls. I'm going to do a check-in, another quarantine lockdown check-in later on today after the news conference, because I find the press conference, because sometimes I find that I put my thoughts out about the lockdown, and then by the time the vlog's up, something new is developed in the country after the COVID-19 press conference that the government holds with the health advisors in this country, and that's normally about 5 o'clock. So I'm going to wait until after 5 to do the check-in, just in case anything happens. But this vlog, as you can tell by the title, is my thoughts on JK Rowling. Now, I'm going to treat you as intelligent people, and the people watching my vlogs tend to be LGBT plus in that community somewhere. And so you're all aware of the tweet that JK Rowling sent out in support of this lady who was going through a tribunal with her work after she had come out with some anti-trans comments. And so JK Rowling rushed to her defense by posting a post in support of her and her views that are anti-trans. And as many people have seen when they've gone on, when they've researched JK Rowling's Twitter feed, have seen that she likes and she's signed up to a number of TERFs sites. So I'm just going to give you a few, just to brief my thoughts on the issue, because I think I need to say something, because a lot of people around me and my family especially are big Harry Potter fans. And I never really got into Harry Potter because I'm not really that much into fantasy sci-fi. I like sci-fi as a whole, but not really fantasy. Mine stretches as far as Lord of the Rings, and that's about it. So that's as far as it goes. And that was only because we were brought up on it when we were kids. So I never really got into Harry Potter, but I can understand why people have this thing about Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a very, I see it as a very progressive story. It's about fulfillment, striving, achieving. It's about highs and lows. It's about loss, failure, and success. It's about achievements. It's about the past and the future. If you looked at it, it's a very progressive sort of book. You would have thought the author would have very progressive views and would be very right on. But it would appear that JK Rowling isn't that at all. In fact, in some of her views are quite, and I'm going to use the word, and I know it's bandied about a lot, but it is quite fascist. It is. I expected a lot more from her. If you know anything about J.K. Rowling's story and how she came to her prominence, and the stories of her in coffee shops writing the story that Harry Potter down in a book, and how she didn't know how it was going to go, and how she looked for a publisher and all the rest of it, and the success she's had, and the fame and the success of Harry Potter and the books she's printed afterwards. She's held the attention of so many young people, and that's what bothers me. J.K. Rowling, I think, I don't so much now, but she was a mouthpiece. She was a spokesperson for young people. She gave young people something to focus on and to use and educate themselves on and learn to read. Our basic thing is learning to read. And so her views on trans issues are really depressing. I mean, it's just so annoying, because you would have thought she'd be progressive and that she would stand up for minorities, because that's what her book is about. They're about minorities and people in society who see themselves as set apart from that mainstream society. But she's abandoned all those ideas and gone for this turf strategy of hating trans people. And that bothers me because it's so juxtaposed to what she stood for and what her books mean. It's such a difference because I just would have thought somebody that would have been an author like JK Rowling and the book she would have that she's printed would be progressive, would be welcoming of minorities, would be accepting of difference. But obviously not. She's just like every other cis TERF. And that bothers me. And it bothers me as well because of all the people that find it difficult to machinate those positions, the TERF and the author and the books. And so you have this difficulty where you can't put them together because they don't seem to go together. They don't seem to mesh together. You often wonder where's she coming from in her thoughts. I mean, as I say, I never got into Harry Potter because I'm not really into that sort of genre of stuff, wizards and stuff. I mean, I like it, but my wizardry extends as far as the druids. So, it's just really, really annoying that someone with her standing and prestige and position in UK society has come out as she has and shown her true colours and abandoned the community I belong to, which is so maligned and put upon by mainstream society and the media, and she's joined that side, the Posey Parkers of this world, that it just fills you with. I can imagine that some people out there would just, kids, especially if they were trans kids, and reading her books, are just like, what the fuck? And whether they put the books down or they separate the book, there's the argument. Can you separate the art from the artist? So if you have good art, is it good art, or do you show it, or do you publish it, or do you view it, if at the end of the day the person that's done it is a wrong 'un? So do you appreciate the art and the music of Rolf Harris after he was arrested and charged with what he was arrested and charged with? Do you still acknowledge his artistry, or do you say, no, that's just crap now, I don't want nothing to do with that because you're an arsehole? So is that the same with JK Rowling? Do some people say you can't separate her work from the artist because she is the artist that's created the work? So I don't want nothing to do with Harry Potter anymore. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm not even going to attempt to read the Harry Potter. I don't give a toss about Harry Potter anymore. I have no leanings towards it. And anybody who shows me anything to do with Harry Potter and goes on about it, I'll just point out, yeah, she's a transphobe. Yeah, she's a transphobe. Yeah, she's a transphobe. So for me, you can't separate the art from the artist. They're one in the same. So if the artist is a wrong 'un, just ignore the art. Otherwise you just feed it then, because you're just going out and buying her products and books and feed. So as I was saying, you just feed into it. I've got to say, you're probably wondering why there's an edit between this and the last bit I was doing. It's because my friend Gail happened to phone me up halfway through me doing a really good vlog and really getting into it. And rather than just scrub that, I've decided to keep it and edit it into this bit. So as I was saying, you don't want to keep feeding in to that sort of you don't want to keep feeding into them, because it gives them a platform then. It gives them a stage to propagate their ideas. And it means that from her position, from JK Rowling's position that she holds and the platform she holds, she can use it, weaponize it, and use it against the trans community. I know she doesn't really talk much about it. She just tweets the odd thing and she likes the odd post from transphobes. But that is a platform in itself, and that makes it, what bothers me. What I'm trying to say is, it bothers me that kids would think, oh right, okay, and maybe come round to her way of thinking because they're influenced by her books and her stories. And I hope that's not the case. I hope kids are more... I tend to find children are more progressive when they're younger, and they tend to think more openly than an adult. And so where JK Rowling is constrained by her adult ideas, the kids are more open-minded nowadays, and I'm hoping they wouldn't go along to that. I know a lot of people do take her stories and her and separate the two, but I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can separate the artist from the art, because the artist is in the art, and I don't think you can separate them. So that's just my rambling thoughts on JK Rowling. I wanted to do a vlog like this a lot sooner, but I just didn't get round to it. So I just thought I'd do it now. I'm going to do another vlog later on for the check-in, and I will see you when that one's on. So for now, goodbye YouTubers, and I'll see you next time. Bye!